Yo, what's up, man? We're back. Another week of gaming with SIKSLAYER and the Realist. A few things went
What
down.
it do?
What it
What
do,
up?
baby?
What up?
What it do? A few things happened since the last show, and it's cracking me up. A lot of people are getting bent out of shape for it, especially today when I kind of pissed off one of the VGC guys. Didn't mean to. Just happened that way.
Which one?
Astros still suck. They continue to suck.
Yankees are pretty good.
They're the worst team right now. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Really?
It is.
I don't know where the Yankees rank, but I know they lost like 4 or 5 games. But mostly when I look on when I see on my phone, or if like the scores will pop up on my TV, like I told you, I set up for certain teams. After a game is over, it'll pop up the score, right? So I got the Astros in there. I got the Yankees. I got the Lakers, stuff like that, right? And Lakers, I think they just finished off the Pelicans.
Be a fan of the Lakers, man.
You know what? I just want to see LeBron James win, bro. I'm tired of all these people who they get all bent out of shape, like somehow he's killing the legacy of Michael Jordan. And a lot of these dudes weren't even there when he was playing. Like,
you know what?
I
used to be
Jordan,
a fan of. I don't want to say a big fan, but I liked him. Mm-hmm. And then he started talking like, okay, I don't like him.
Yeah, well, I mean, same with Jordan. Actually, nowadays, now that he's out, you see how much of an asshole he really is as a person. Yeah. I mean, he was able to leverage some of those personality traits into some positivity, motivation and stuff. You know what I mean? Focus, stuff like that. Positive things that led to his successes. I'm not trying to shit on the man at all. In fact, I love Michael Jordan. He is the GOAT. But
you like the player of him.
Yeah, right.
The person.
Not so much the person.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Jordan ain't no GOAT either.
Well, listen. I'm just saying. I say that not because I don't think that I think he's like the best ever singularly, even though literally that's the word I chose to use.
Yeah.
It's more about, I do respect his accomplishment, and I think a lot of guys are bent out of shit because of LeBron James. Like they think somehow anything LeBron James does hurts anything that Jordan does, like his legacy and shit.
I never
right?
thought that.
Well, that's the thing is, it's kind of like PlayStation fans and Xbox fans. Yeah. That's what this is why I never accept that it's so childish that we console war. Like once you choose your side, you're gonna defend your side, and anything that encroaches what you believe, you gotta go against it. Like there's so many reasons why I think LeBron is better. But I understand why people say that Jordan is better. I've had that argument for years.
Yeah. Well, the people that grew up with Jordan will always fight for Jordan.
But we did.
What? I know we did. Yeah. But I'm not.
We did.
But I'm not swinging for LeBron either. I'm not. No, it's like he's good. He's good in his own right.
But like most reports that I ever see about either LeBron or Jordan, like you look in the comments, it's instantly just shitting on LeBron James. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because that's how you know he's getting. That's how you know he's close or has surpassed.
Oh crap!
Yeah,
right.
Got to plug it
because they start getting defensive. But look, if you say 6 for 6 is what makes Jordan the GOAT, I understand. If you say 7 of 9 is what makes Tom Brady the GOAT, I'm not going to argue that if that's your measuring stick, because not to me. I mean, they're team sports.
Yeah.
So you take Pippen away from Jordan, you take those defenses away from Brady, right? Nobody can tell me that Brady is better than Elway. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's no debate when it comes to that. He is not better than Elway. But LeBron and Jordan, I used to have that debate and I'm tired of it. There's reasons for both.
Yeah.
And that was the mindset I was talking about, right? Like a lot of just like the haterism, like that innate just because, right? Like they rock with something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so thus you hear it in their talking points. Oftentimes it's just such the most petty, childish, ain't really got nothing to do with the point at all type bullshit. Always. And it just
I mean, because when you look at Jordan, right? There's this one constant, a top 50 guy who was always there. Mm-hmm. Right, you look at LeBron, he had to go find these guys, and then they penalize him for going to find these guys.
Yep.
It's like
And meanwhile, LeBron
Cleveland.
James had the number 2 guy, right? That was his partner.
The one thing when it came to Cleveland, right, is that Cleveland Cavaliers did not want to trade J.J. Hickson for Amari Stoudemire.
In them early
2
days.
years later, J.J. Hickson is out of the league. If I was LeBron, I'm out of that thing too. Their idea of giving him help was a 38-year-old Shaq, 38-year-old Shaq. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't blame LeBron for leaving. Now, I do blame Durant for leaving. Because the proof is in the pudding. Sam Presti knows how to put players around his guys, even in that small market. Because you look at what they've done. You look at what they've done right now. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You got the what's the long white boy name, man? Chet Holmgren. There's about 4 guys on there that could be possible all-stars. So Sam Presti knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? And Durant left after being up 3-1. So that just lets you know what kind of guy he is. You know, LeBron, they got stumped out. What y'all want him to do? Keep bumping his head against the wall against the big 3 in Boston?
Exactly. And I go back to that whole thing with Pippen. After Jordan, Pippen was the best in the league. And that was his partner. He literally says he couldn't do what he did without him defensively. Like,
I mean, what else is he gonna say? But you know how he feels behind closed doors. He let his son bone his wife.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If that's my man, we won 6 chips together. Ain't no way, son. There's other cooters out there for you, man.
Yeah, bro.
Like all the women in the world, you got to go get Pip's wife.
Then wasn't that some shit?
Yeah. So it's like, man, you know how he talks about Pip behind closed doors. He'll never be me. He'll never be on my level. You know what I mean? Yeah. He robbing and he know it. You know. Yeah, you already know how. You know Jordan's a dick. B-I-C-K.
He's a straight dickhead. He really is. I was alluding to it before. That's what it is, bro. Like, but hey, I ain't got nothing to do with the player. And when we're talking about, the legacy and the sports aspect, really at all, right? But it is true. And he did, talk the talk because it was straight facts. What else could he say, right? But it is the fact. That's why he talked it. Meanwhile, he's doing a lot of shit behind the scenes. That's how true it was. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and LeBron never had that. He had to go find that. It never really, like, bro.
Just imagine if Bosh didn't have his heart problem. If Wade's body didn't start betraying him, you think LeBron would have left Miami? Or it'd be a different story.
Right?
It wouldn't be
we're talking about a Heat dynasty.
It wouldn't be 2. It wouldn't be 3. It just kept going. 5, 6.
It would have been to me. I think it'd have been at least 4 because the league caught up with them.
Yeah.
The league caught up with them. My Spurs. You know what I mean?
3, right?
And the 2.
Oh, 2.
And the greatest coach in the history of the league, they caught up with him.
And then he got one with the Lakers, right? Or did he get 2?
He got one with Cleveland, and he got one. He got one with the Lakers.
He only got 2.
He got 4. He got 2 in the Miami. Went back to Cleveland. Remember, they came back on. Oh, you don't watch sports. Remember? Okay, they beat the Warriors, who won 73 games that year.
Yeah. I love that season. Oh my God. Ooh, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That proved so much, bro. So much. Like, nobody's ever done something like that, bro. Nobody. That showed more than any 1 ring or 3 rings.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what people have a problem with him. So he said, "Man, I feel like I'm the GOAT after this." Right?
Yeah.
He said that. He said, "I mean, can a man express his feelings on his own show?"
Yeah,
I
bro.
mean, when you feel that way,
that's what it was. Yeah. When you're right. When you do all of that defensive play just before. Come on, bro. It's just is what it is. Like, but they came from 3 down on the statistically best team of all time, bro. Of all time. I think the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. Just so highly accurate. Even more than Bird, bro. Bird was, oh my God. Like,
Bird wasn't that accurate. But Bird
wasn't even that accurate, right? That's exactly my point.
Clay might even be more accurate than Bird.
Yeah, but for this modern time,
Bird created his own shots. That's what makes Steph a level above. Is he creates his own shots. Clay, that's just passes and shoots.
Right. So You know what I'm saying? Like the Warriors was out there, bro. That was the statistic. Like, and then have the coach be one of the Bulls, right? From Jordan's team. You know what I'm saying? At his apex. Like one of his guys from his team. That was the coach for the Warriors. And you see the impact of him as coach. He wasn't just a coach that, he was on the Bulls team, right? That had all these accomplishments. No, he made that.
You talking about Kerr?
Steve Kerr, right?
I mean, but you got to remember, Kerr played for Pop too.
That's what I'm saying. So he knew what he was doing out there, and you could see his impact as coach.
Honestly, bro,
and
Mark Jack don't get enough credit for what that team is.
He don't. But what I'm saying is, for what he did, bro, he beat all of that with that Cleveland team.
Oh,
that's
so. So all this basketball talk and all about the legends and everything in the men's basketball. What do you guys think about all the talk that's going on right now about the WNBA? Caitlin Clark and the pay.
Let me speak on that real quick because I got a specific opinion, and then I want to hear what you got to say about this, Willis. So it's two things. Number one, you remember that Olympic runner who got caught with weed or whatever, and so they banned her for a year and she couldn't compete.
The one from her, she's from Dallas. What's her name, Tech?
Richardson.
Sha'Carri.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson, right? So she sit there and took no real accountability for it. Now she's back, right? I think she won something already, right? And then was already talking like with no accountability, like she didn't really learn her lesson. Like, I did that before. Like, are we still talking about it type shit? You know what I'm saying? So instead of her having 3, she's got 2, right? So it's that rack shit attitude that led to all of that, I feel, right? I say that to say this, that like, then you look at Caitlin Clark, and what's that black girl?
From LSU?
Shit. I think so, yeah.
And the only reason why I know this, because it's all over the news,
Right.
Not
so
like
all this rack shit talk and action, but Caitlin Clark was out there. That's why she was number 1 seed. Meanwhile, this other chick was number 7. And Caitlin didn't win either.
No, you can't knock Angela Reese, man. They're young girls. The same thing that
no, but hold on though. But they use that on that young hunger and energy. I get that to excuse a lot of the action she do and the way she acts. That's not cool at all, right?
What did she do that was so bad?
Is not doing none of that. But like she's because she's white. Like what the hell is this, bro?
No, Caitlin Clark did the John Cena to her before too. So it's like that. It's like you can't see me.
Yeah, you can't see me thing. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like it's white people, man, and it's a certain group of politically charged white people who always try to point out black people getting away with something. Right? Haley Van Lith is about as hood as a white girl as you're gonna find, right?
What's up, Punny?
What up, Punny?
She does the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, like you didn't really address what he was talking about, so I'll give you a shot at that. I just want to say, man, that girl ain't ratchet. I mean, if anything, Flo J is ratchet, but you don't see her because she's not viewed as beautiful, right? So she's not on body issues of Sport Illustrated and stuff like that. So it's but they're both just as gangster on the court as they should be. What was wrong with when you had Sam Cassell running down the court? You're from Houston Tech, running down the court with the big balls. You know what I'm saying? You remember when Sam Cassell used to hit a shot, run around with his hands under his way down between his legs like he got big balls, got to hold him up.
Yeah.
You remember that celebration? They told him he had to stop it. Nothing wrong with swagger on the court. This is competition, and I wish they would stop this, where they try to pacify and pussify everything we got going on.
Oh no, I agree with you on that one for sure. It's on the sports. The football was really bad about it. Now baseball, same thing.
Oh yeah.
Even though they still let the whole bat flipping thing and some of the stare downs go on. But I love it, man. I love the talking trash and staring down any kind of celebration.
Oh, I don't got no problem with that.
I got no problem.
But then the next thing now, so now the numbers come out about pay and stuff, but this conversation has been here around the WNBA and even like women's soccer, right? Like they keep thinking there's all this money, and now they playing victim. Now they see the real numbers. They're like, oh, but like the NBA is
real numbers about what? The revenue stuff?
Yeah, the revenue, right? So I'm like, bro, if anything, all this rah is just heating it up. You know what I'm saying? Will drum up more interest. I could only imagine that's gonna be a positive in that respect. You know, there's a lot of wild stuff going on with the women's sports, particularly what was going on with basketball, track, and now the gym outfits. But that I think it was Reebok, right? That there was some complaint about the design of them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's like too sexual or whatever, because I didn't even read. I only seen the headline. So I guess that's the new drama in women's sports now. Like, who's complaining about that? I have my suppositions, but like I said, I didn't read into it. But it's just like, there's a lot of like little dramas here and there in women's sports this year. I noticed.
Well, I don't like, not that it does anything. It doesn't matter to me because I don't pay attention to women's basketball. I just don't. It doesn't interest me like everybody else is saying.
Yeah, women don't either.
It just
like
doesn't
the women I know
interest.
Follow sports,
and
it's football, and then
yes.
and then I know a lot of like lesbian and other like couples like that who like other sports.
The way
basketball.
Bill Burr put it, it's on the screen. He did this years ago, right? He did. This is not something recent. He had it.
Oh,
He had it on his stand-up.
So
he did it years ago, and he's on point on this. Look at the NBA. They've been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for the quarter of a century, 25 years. Not to mention, it's a male subsidized. So the NBA is giving money. He's like, here you go, have your league, right? So now the men's basketball is saving and keeping the NBA, the WNBA in business, right? We gave you a league. And none of you showed up, which is like the women, right? Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists, faces painted, wearing jerseys, going effing nuts like the guys do. That's what Burr said.
Absolutely.
Which is true.
Absolutely.
The women don't even go.
The feminists and stuff that I know, that's not the sport they follow. They do follow sports. They do follow sports. I don't know why I got the first letters mixed up. They do follow sports.
But they can't complain about the pay if they don't support it.
Support it, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But you gotta support it with your dollars. It's like, you remember when we had the whole little DI conversation about Sweet Baby Ray's and all that? And this is what I said, like, women are not into the sports that they're trying to fight for women's pay and for women to even participate. I'm all for women participate, but the WNBA operates at a loss.
Yes.
The NBA subsidizes the WNBA.
Yes.
When I see the salaries, it's like, man, I wish they could get paid more, because I can watch any sport. So I took a liking to women's basketball back when Pat Summitt in Tennessee were in their heyday. That's the team that I still roll with them. You know, I don't mind seeing Dawn Staley get hers in too. She was one of my players that I used to watch back in those days too.
Yeah.
But it seems like the WNBA needs white girls to come out and show out, because we've had good girls come out. We've had girls that can put up buckets. Remember, Cheryl Swoops came out putting up buckets. She was averaging like 25. Tina Thompson was balling. Cynthia Cooper was balling. But like when Caitlin Clark comes out, now she did make history, and they did do a way better job than they've ever done marketing women's basketball this year when it came to her, which is why her jersey sold out in an hour.
Well, because of her, though.
Yeah, but see, that goes to the product, right?
It takes one person, I guess, to start it off, to kickstart it.
Well, the product is not that good. Because you remember, like when I said I have not seen anyone walking around with a WNBA jersey.
No, I've never seen it.
Not even a girl.
And they barely here in Dallas. There's a team, and I rarely see any kind of advertisement around the city. With all the billboards we have around here and all the highways, you rarely see something about the WNBA here.
Bro, we had we won like five championships with the Comets.
Yes.
And they still left.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just like soccer. We keep getting soccer teams in Houston because of all the Mexicans, but they don't stick around long. I mean, it sounds like a good deal. You know, like as big of a Mexican population we have, they should be into the MLS. And you know, they got a new soccer stadium. It's not that new anymore in downtown now.
It's nice.
So it seems
Have you been to it?
I've been by it. I don't watch soccer like that.
It's a nice stadium. I went there once.
But
That's the key word.
But the thing with money in sports or anything, the money has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So like these girls, I've watched these videos of them complaining about profit sharing and this and that and the third, about how the NBA players are getting 51%, they're only getting 30%. It's like, what are you getting 30% of? There has to be profit to share.
There was a chart or some kind of screenshot that I saw that the NBA generates 10 billion?
Billions.
Billion. 10 billion.
Billion.
And you know, tickets, average tickets is like $70 something compared to the women's, which is like $50, right?
That's the average women's ticket. That's expensive.
That is expensive. And that's what some people are saying. It's like, dude, nobody wants to go see it in the first place, and you making it $50, you know? WNBA revenue is 60 million. So off that 60 million, how are you supposed to pay millions of dollars to these girls, to these women?
Well, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah, that's why the Supermax is 235, I believe.
Yeah.
235,000.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, the money has to come from somewhere. The product is not as good. I mean, I love girls. I have 2 daughters. I'm all about women roaring. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to make your way.
Exactly. And people are saying, and what the women's basketball people, the talking heads, are all looking at. It's like where the NBA is today. They didn't see how it struggled at the beginning,
right?
And how long it took for the NBA to be the NBA.
Right.
Yeah?
They don't. They can expect success with no effort, right?
Yeah.
Like they set up, they think they should just all be rich, just by default with no effort.
In 100 years, it's still going to be about the same. It's like,
well, we're at 25.
When are you gonna get guys to start slamming beers, watching girls play basketball, especially girls? In all honesty, that are fully clothed and mostly masculine. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you watch men. It's like, dude. I mean, we all played. We all had dreams of playing. We support sports, but like, it's like the Lingerie Football League. Man, I used to watch the hell out of that. Oh, but you're sexualizing women. Hey, man, I came for the booty, and then after a while,
the booty.
but no, after a while, the girls showed that they belong on the field. Yeah. And honestly, as hard as they were hitting, because they didn't. A lot of the rules that are outlawed in the NFL were not in the lingerie football league. Yeah. So like they were arm tackling, you know.
Yeah, that shit is rough. I ain't going front.
Yeah.
That shit is rough. And
you know, I was paying attention, man. Those girls had strawberries on their booties. Like they were out there playing.
There you go.
Yeah. And you know what that reminds me of? The UFC. Well, women are so much more successful, and to prove my point of what I was saying earlier, with the effort,
they don't stand alone.
They out there. They don't
stand. They don't stand alone though. It's like it's very rare where the top card is a woman, and none of those cards are among the top cards.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything like that, but they're out there advertising, working, like, and they're earning that money. You know what I'm saying? They're making way more money over there, but that's because of the effort they're putting in. And even I always notice this with the women fights compared to the men. Round 1, ding ding, these women is out there, both of them, off rip, like zoom, they in there. Sometimes the men, they jump in hot, right? But sometimes the men will jump in hot, right? But more times than not, it's more measured. They measuring each other, they taking each other's pace and timing, trying to catch each other's time and shit like that, to get in some good hits, right? Word. More technical, right? Like, but it's just like in boxing. Sometimes you get it where they just run out rock, but more times than not, no. You know what I'm saying? But the women, nah, they usually bout it way more than the men when it comes to UFC. That's what I've noticed. With boxing, I don't really know one way or the other.
I believe
it's true. The same. if
girls,
told.
girls, you have to hit somebody with a certain amount of pressure to knock them out.
Right.
And for the most part, girls don't hit hard enough. Because
Right.
I was watching Hannah Gabriel and Clarissa Shields earlier today, and it was like rock'em sock'em.
Yes.
And the shot that knocked Clarissa Shields down was a whooping accidental uppercut. I ain't gonna say it was an accident. It was a wild ass uppercut, and it caught her and she fell.
It
But
was
after
luck
that,
caught her or
it was
whatever.
rock'em sock'em. I ain't gonna say it was luck
Yeah.
because Hannah Gabriel is solid. She's good.
Mm.
But I mean, I watch all sports. I watch boxing and I watch MMA, like girls and the men and the women. But look, man, the money has to come from somewhere, and it's always on the back of the men's cards or the men's sports. And they don't like it when you say that. You gotta start. You gotta start generating revenue. Put those jerseys out.
Let them
But,
get
like,
cut off by the NBA and let's see how long they'll last.
Exactly. See,
well, they wouldn't be here.
No, they wouldn't. I mean,
Yeah,
that
they
just
wouldn't be
proves the
here, right?
point.
But-
It's like, how can you pay these players high dollar when you don't even generate high dollar?
Right, but see, that's why I don't have a problem with them like coattailing on the UFC, because yeah, it brings them the attention, but they still out there working to get what they get now that they're there to present, right? And they do work very hard. Unlike with the NBA, they're being put on by the NBA. They even being subsidized. Unlike with the women in UFC, right? But
I mean, any other business, outside of sports
you don't see
would
the
have
women
shut
competing
down
in UFC.
and not get bailed out by somebody else. Where the
Yeah,
But it's
NBA,
the same.
where
It's
the
the same thing
WNBA
in college.
is getting bailed out by the men's league.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing in college. Football funds most of the other sports. Like for most schools, right? Football funds the other sports. This is why football alignment and conferences. That's why you see all these conferences being shifted, because football is the most important sport at most colleges.
Yeah.
You know, you go to like the ACC, North Carolina basketball would be responsible for their football team, but for most of the colleges, football is the moneymaker. Football funds the women, football funds the men. So, but at the end of the day, they weren't getting paid until now.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think that they should be complaining about money. They gotta earn it. I mean, for one, the product has to get better, man. Like dudes like Steph, dudes, women, everybody. Like women are at these NBA games. There are more women at NBA games than WNBA games. Probably
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Let me see.
We're
Just because of sheer number in the audience,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
they're probably
there's
more-
a big difference when they open up only the lower bowl of the stadium for women's ball, and it's the
Right.
whole arena for the men's.
Right. And so the product has to improve, man, because I've been watching basketball since probably high school. And the product is not the same. They don't dunk. They smoke layups way more often. Now they do play good defense, but look at the NBA. They basically in the NFL, they basically legislated defense out of the game. People want to see scoring, and the girls, quite honestly, they don't get it off like that. That's why Caitlin Clark was a big deal.
Yeah.
But we've seen girls light it up. She's still just one person, but maybe she can be one of the ones, because I loved Sue Bird back in the day. She didn't do it. Diana Taurasi, she didn't do it. Candace Parker didn't do it.
We're going to be back here again 25 years later. It's like, well, we had Caitlin Clark and they still didn't do it.
Well, I don't, because she needs somebody. There has to be somebody else. Another thing, they don't play a lot. They don't play enough games.
And somebody before that, and then somebody before that.
And see, that's it. It's always somebody.
Yeah.
Lisa Leslie. The Comets were fortunate enough to have 4 of them. But like, you need more visibility, because you got some girls that came out, Maya Moore, until she found a man in prison. You had a lot of guys. A lot of girls that come out and ball. Simone Augustus, like, she was supposed to be one of the ones. It's like, it just does not happen because the product is not the same.
No,
You have to watch the product through a different lens when you watch girls basketball. That's just all it is to it.
Yeah.
and I'm rooting for them. You know what I mean? If they would market to me more, if they would sell me a jersey, I would buy a jersey, not a Caitlin Clark jersey. I'm waiting for my girl to come out from
Well,
Washington. What's the little white girl's name in UConn? How do? Because I
I don't
keep
even
thinking
know.
about Haley Van Lith, but man, what's her? It'll come to me because she damn near carried them to the finals. Uh, but I'm waiting for her. I'll buy her jersey. You know what I
You gonna
mean?
be sporting around in Houston?
I would.
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah,
that
when
it's
when
probably
the
drama.
Avalanche won, I wore my jersey. So
Yeah,
what?
that's men's hockey though.
No, okay. Well, I know
You gonna
girls play
you
hockey
gonna
too.
you gonna wear a Indiana Flames Caitlin Clark jersey around town?
I'm not a Caitlin Clark guy.
Well, I'm just saying if you were, and you bought one.
You know. Oh yeah, if I bought it, yeah. If it was $15, I'd buy it. It's kind of like it's kind of like PlayStation exclusives. If the price is right,
15 bucks,
I mean,
little man, put that shit in my hand.
That's like
yeah.
me wearing the old school Comets jersey, man. It's like Comets.
Paige Beckers. I knew it was. I can't remember the B, but Paige Beckers. That's her name. Like she was cold. She hurt her knee. Like I'm gonna buy her jersey if I can. Like I look, man. I'm a room for the girls, man. My girl, she's a great softball player, and I have to always tell my wife. I don't tell my daughter. You know, it's a feeling because like one of the girls that my niece knows. My niece is now a hitting coach, and girl, she played at UT. She was all world at UT, and she's in the women's pro softball league, and it's only 4 teams. So it's like, who's gonna tune into it? Softball is different. The ball flies different. The game is slower. It's like
Yeah,
you have to
like
watch
it-
it through a different lens. That's all.
The way they pitch
All
it just kind of throws me off, man. Like not in a
Yeah.
bad way. Like it amazes me how they chunk that ball.
Oh yeah,
It's
Easy,
crazy.
swing it. But yo, like number one, that's the sport. Most of the feminists I know, that's what they want. It's not basketball, right? But I hope and I assume for at least a little bit. At best.
I mean, I want them to succeed, but at the same time, they'll be bitching about the pay because you're not generating the revenue.
No doubt. I agree 100%. But I think hopefully this little bit of drama that was going on with the whole thing, right? Puts more eyes on it, even a little bit. We'll see how that
It's still one girl, right? It's like when Michael Jordan came, he brought visibility to the league, right? Really wasn't even Michael Jordan. It was Bird and Magic.
Yeah.
They were on opposite sides of the world.
Yeah.
Or the nation.
Yep.
And they brought eyes to the league. Jordan took up the torch, and he brought eyes to the league. Then you had Sir Charles come along, Dream, and all these other guys come along, and now people know them. It's like when it comes to the women's game, there has to be she has to work out. You know what I'm saying? Because busts are real. Yeah, I mean, it's less likely in the women's game. Most of the time when they ball in college, they ball in the league too.
Yeah.
But she's got to work out because see, when she was in college, she was basically like Pistol Pete. She could just go up there and shoot 40 shots a game if that's what the game let her do.
Yeah.
She had free range to get out there and chuck it. And WNBA is going to be way more structured, and she's not going to be the best in the league. She might not even be the best on her team.
We gotta see what happened in transition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She got the girl Aaliyah. The one from South Carolina. That's her center. So we'll see, man. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the game. I hope that they prosper.
All right, man. So we took the tangent already. We went off the tangent early. First thing. What do you mean you don't talk about games yet, man? God damn. All right.
I mean, let's not act like there's a hell of a lot to talk about when it comes to games anyway.
I know. There isn't really, man. It's been like dead big time. But had a little good time earlier today with
ironically, it's pretty normal. It's just that in hindsight of the way it had been for the past like 2 years with the whole ABK deal and all that other stuff, where there was shit popping off every day, multiple things a day.
Oh yeah.
Now it's more back to a regular pace, and that regular pace seems
Yeah.
lame. But it's not really dead. But
you remember, but see, last year, on top of the ABK, we had COVID games.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a whole lot of games that were pushed back for COVID, and we had a log jam of games last year to talk about too.
Mm-hmm.
But like this year, it's just a little different. Well, let's go, Tech.
All right. So this has to do with Fallout, the games, and Fallout, the show. And I've watched it. Have you guys watched it?
No.
It was so good, man. That I said, let me stop, because once I finish, then what am I gonna watch?
Exactly.
How many
That's how I
episodes
feel
did you
right
watch?
now. I want season 2 now.
I got to 6,
So I'm finished. And
I saw that
I
it's like
like
only
that
8
one.
episodes, right?
there's only 8. I'm finished. And look, I don't know about you guys. I think it stays true to the game. Like on point.
That's what everybody says.
It
So I'm gonna
stays
go
true
with
to the
what I've
game.
heard.
People
I'm
call it
gonna say.
Easter eggs. I don't call it Easter egg. They're just part of the Fallout lore, the Brotherhood, all the little props that you see, right?
All the details when he's hacking on the computer,
Yes,
all that stuff.
Because
everything is one-to-one in the game.
if you're a true fan, you will spot these things in an instant. Like, oh my god, that's part of the game. Oh my god,
And
that's
they're
part of the game.
everywhere.
They're
Right.
everywhere.
Everything
Bro,
that they
bro,
do, everything the way it is in the games.
You didn't watch it, right, Sick?
No, I didn't, but I've seen
Okay.
so much coverage.
Did you? Okay, so Tech, did you get hyped when he's like, "Oh, a stim pack! Look at the stim pack!"
Oh yes, the stim pack, because they work.
I said they got stim packs.
Yes. Oh yes, the stim packs. They got the raid away. He mentioned raid away because
Right away.
Yeah.
When he was sick or she was sick.
When she was sick, yeah. So it's these little things that if you haven't played the game, it means nothing to you. But to people who played it like myself, it means a lot, because like, oh my god, they're staying true to the game. And those Brotherhood steel suits are amazing. I think it's awesome the way they got it.
Man, I saw some clown say, "I don't like the way they look." I just kept scrolling.
They look like the freaking game, like the suits, right?
And then they have my boy in episode 1. He ought to be your boy too. Stick. He's from your state.
Oh, the guy who's the ghoul who looks like he's dressed up like a cowboy cop, like Sheriff do, but he's not. I don't think.
Back to the ghetto you go.
Yep.
It's
Michael
awesome.
Rappaport, man.
Michael Rappaport. Yep.
So
Okay. I was talking about the wrong guy then. Okay.
So
I didn't know Michael Rappaport was in this at all.
It's an awesome show, dude. You'll be addicted if once you watch the first episode, you want to continue on, right? Well, VGC came out with a headline and their article. I haven't read the article. I read the headline, and I took the bait and I got triggered. If you want to say that.
Oh yeah.
They posted Fallout 4 was the best-selling game across Europe last week, with sales rising more than 7,500% following the launch of the Fallout TV show, which is fantastic because people are now being exposed to the game, and it's a great thing because the game is awesome and it's timeless, right?
Yep.
So I responded, I quote responded, "Let me correct the headline for you. This will be free this time. Xbox's Fallout 4 was the best-selling game across Europe last week, with sales rising, yada, yada, yada." I kept everything the same. I only added Xboxes because it's Xbox's game. Whether they developed the game at the time or not, it is their game, their owner now.
Xbox is the one who's going to get the money from it.
Exactly. So the guy who he didn't post this, but it's his article. Because I eventually clicked on the link, and it happens to be the author of the article. And he goes, "The headline was 100% accurate. No correction necessary." I say, exclusion of vital information such as who owns Fallout doesn't make the headline 100%. Including Fallout's IP owner would make it 100%. If you need help for the next headline, let me know, and I'll send over an invoice. Happy to assist. He didn't like that. With respect.
Yeah.
With
You're super
respect,
polite too.
I've been doing this professionally for 17 years. The only information vital to the story is that which it can't be removed without removing the actual story. In other words, the fact is the best-selling game in Europe last week. Your addition is extraneous info. Well, I had to say something. Correct. The core of the story is about the success of Europe in Europe last week. However, including the owners of Fallout's IP adds valuable content. It's like knowing the director of a hit movie. While I respect your experience, sometimes the extraneous details can enrich the narrative. Right? Because, I mean, you want to know who directed it.
Well said. Well said. So articulate. Yes.
I mean, because
allow me to retort.
if you see a hit movie and you don't know anything, I mean, you just saw the movie, you thought it was amazing, and you probably want to know who's this director because you might want to see other games by that director, right? And that's I mean, it's only natural that you want to know. So
right, because it's about the games, right, and the show.
Yeah, he
so
responds.
That people know where they can get them.
He responds again. Fallout 4 was released in 2015. The show was first announced in 2020. Microsoft bought ZeniMax in March 2021. Xbox was not responsible for Fallout 4, nor it's responsible for the TV show deal. The fact it owns the keys now is irrelevant if it wasn't the driver. Of course, I had to say something back.
Well, allow me to retort again.
Well, let me say. Yes, Xbox didn't own Fallout when it was released or when the TV show was streamed. So I'm agreeing with what he's saying, right? However, owning the IP now opens doors for potential projects that could further enrich the Fallout universe. Ownership matters, even if it didn't drive the past. And he goes, ownership does indeed matter. So I'm owning the headline I wrote. Have a good day. After that, he blocked me.
I'm glad that you had that banner with him because like we know that's a clown site. So
yeah.
Any pushback,
good job, bro.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I didn't insult. Actually, I was agreeing with a lot of things he said. Right. And I just kept pushing.
More articulate than I was gonna. Not to say you're not capable, indeed you were, but I wasn't expecting none of that. Right? You came at like super eloquent and all of that. So like
you came in like really snarky,
right? And so you couldn't really do nothing versus that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just sit there and say, I disagree. I'm not changing nothing. Bye, block. You know what I'm saying? That's all he could do. He couldn't up the level of snarkiness or anything. He couldn't even try to match it, and so he didn't even try.
No.
Didn't even try. He ran away with his hair between his legs.
And of course, I get others coming to say Fallout 4 is also on PlayStation. Well, I know that. I'm just saying who owns the IP, not what platforms they're on. I didn't respond to that guy. But
it's just like Cyberpunk, right? Like when the anime came out, that was the thing that really, even though it was already fixed by then, it got a lot of people who didn't bother checking in because it was common knowledge, right?
Yeah,
the game was fixed, but it was the anime that was the trigger to finally get people to go into it, who were holding off or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So and it did that for all platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Microsoft, if Sony had bought Project Red somehow, because of all the drama that was going early on with with all the stock dropping, whatever, and Sony was able to sneak in a purchase somehow, right? And that had happened then. You know what they would have been saying about Sony, like they would have gotten all the credit for that, right? Because I think the anime was no. Sony wasn't involved. That was production IG. Never mind. Like. But Sony is heavily involved in anime, but because they own Crunchyroll and many other things, right?
Yeah.
Like Right Stuff to buy DVDs. I used to love Right Stuff because it was great site. Lots of images of the box art of the boxes, right? And stuff, so you knew what you were getting. Very well done site, and Sony owns almost everything anime, except for what Netflix be doing and like Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers. So, but Sony would have gotten big ups for that. But now Microsoft's here in the same position. Of course, it's the same thing. It's that Xbox tax. It's basically
yes.
Xbox never getting his due credit in the way if it was somebody else. You put somebody else in those shoes, boom, they would have got it. You know, at Sony, Nintendo, whatever. Like, come on, bro. That's what it is. It increased sales of the game on all those, on every platform it's on. And Microsoft is working yet and still to you know, that update that has coming out from multiple games. I think for 4 and for 76, right?
Yeah.
They both getting updates, right? Microsoft, that's under Microsoft's umbrella now, right? All those people who were fucking with the Fallout franchise now, Microsoft was there to meet them with updated software that probably wouldn't have happened under Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have did that. They would have left the same semi-broken versions running, right? I think 76 is the one that had the issues, and 3, right? 3 is still just streaming on the PlayStation. You can't play it locally,
Yeah.
right? You have to have a PS3 to play that game. Like, but you know, so if you're trying to play it on a modern PlayStation, you stream it.
Yeah.
Right? Off cloud. You can't play it locally.
No.
Microsoft will probably fix that, or right? But Bethesda would have never did that under just ZeniMax, right? But under Microsoft, that's the thing they do. They stay honest like that in a way that Nintendo and Sony never would even try. Even Sega back in the day would have never done anything like that until they became third party. Then all of a sudden you saw how adept they always were at programming and technology and stuff like that. You see they were able to leverage all 3 of the platforms at the time, and even now, and even PC and stuff like. So anyway, like all these things related. It's stupid to see once again. And this guy in the press, you know, he's just leveraging, not putting Xbox in it, you know, to put that stick. It's subliminal and Stucky the same way you were.
Yeah.
And that's what pissed him off. That's why I loved it so much. It was, you gave him back the same he's given us. The same. And he didn't even try to match it. He knew not to, and he basically said, he just like, I disagree. I'm leaving it the same. Basically was his response. That was it.
No, it's too funny. And a couple of other guys, random guys, just kind of chime in.
I'm gonna I kind of gonna just like take a back seat on this one because like I don't follow them, but now I'm gonna take the challenge and go see how they what's the refer to like The Last of Us or any other Sony game that game the movie, right? Because
Twisted Metal.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to look up. See, I forgot that even existed. So I'm gonna have to go see how they refer to that because see, you already know they all have it out for Xbox. So you know they're not gonna mention Xbox if they don't have to. He probably had all those factoids on tap because he knew that he would probably get backlash. Oh, they were purchasing this and this show, and the show is set up in 2020. So he knew all that because he had to he probably worked that way to figure out a way to work them out of the story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, every time, see, if Sony had any type of backwards compatible program worth its weight, Twisted Metal probably would have experienced an increase of player count, right? Because The Last of Us Part 1 remake had a sales bump after The Last of Us Season 1 came out. Yeah. So I mean that's the way it works, and especially when it's a good show. Yes. And I see a lot of Halo people say, "Well, it didn't happen for Halo." It's like Halo to me. Halo has its own lore, and people wanted it to be 1-to-1.
Yeah, and it's not.
And it can't be 1-to-1 because just imagine Master Chief being on TV not talking, just giving you one-liners for 8 episodes a season. Like how made for TV is that?
Hey, they kept it true.
Because see, this is what I was gonna say before we went into your back and forth with that guy. Fallout did a great job of grabbing the experienced Fallout people and introducing Fallout to new people.
Yes.
And see what Halo is doing is they're trying to introduce Halo to new people. So they have to write Chief's story in a way that humanizes him. So that when he does get to the point of where he's only dropping one-liners, that audience understands. Because if they brought him out and he's just, the missions change, they always do, and nothing else,
They,
or
they wouldn't understand why he's like that. Yeah.
let's go. Finish this fight. I mean, how cool is he at that point to the average TV watcher? He's not cool at all. So now you see, so now you see where Chief is becoming the robot or the one-line guy, right? Yeah. You're watching them transform him into that. You see that Chief had a heart. Chief wanted cheeks. You understand? It's like just like most straight men in this world. He has those desires. So eventually, when he becomes that person that every Halo player or gamer wants him to be, the viewing public will understand. But Fallout did a great job of introducing the universe.
Is amazing.
It did a great job of introducing the universe.
I lost it.
Why won't you let me talk?
I lost it when Red Rocket was shown.
See, I didn't get that far. So, that's why a lot of people are saying that they can watch the show with their wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can watch it. Anybody can watch it, and it's relatable, right? There's a bomb happening there in the Fallout. You didn't have to play the game to watch this. So that's why I think that they did a good job. And I don't want. And I didn't want Halo to go 1-to-1 the same way the Last of Us did. Although they did elaborate on some things, it's pretty much the same as the video games.
Yeah, it is.
And if you play the video game, what's really the point in watching the show?
Yeah.
But that's that.
So a couple more dudes chimed in. One guy say, "What are you waffling about?" And I didn't say anything to that. But this guy. One guy say, clearly trying to give credit to Xbox for something they had nothing to do with. Next, we'll be giving Xbox credit for a Fallout 76 gains massive player base, ignoring the fact that Xbox and PC versions are free through Amazon Prime Gaming right now, which I don't get what he's trying to say there. Yes, they're providing free copies of it, but it's still Xbox's game. Okay.
And it's putting up for free on Amazon in Europe. They're buying the game. It's sales charts, people. People are buying.
Oh, I think he's talking about the player base got a bump because Xbox and PC are free through.
Right, but the news is the sales charts.
The sales chart.
Whatever he's talking about is irrelevant.
Yeah. So I come back, of course, and say, true. Again, I agree with these people, but then I got to throw something else in there. True that the availability of Fallout 76 on Xbox PC through Prime Gaming has likely contributed to its current player base. We can't overlook Xbox's role in fostering the game's ongoing success. Xbox's support through marketing and community engagement, because that's a huge deal, plays a significant part.
I mean, they're working just as hard at discrediting Xbox as you are in giving them credit.
Yeah. He comes back.
Exactly. I love it.
It doesn't at all. The Fallout series was built entirely outside of Xbox, and the vast majority of Fallout fans, this is where I have a problem with this, and the vast majority of Fallout fans are not Xbox owners. Regardless, they do not need credit for this. I simply add, interesting perspective. Could you share the source or data supporting the claim that the vast majority of Fallout fans are not Xbox owners? I'm interested in,
because I would assume it was Xbox, because like Fallout blew up in the middle of the 360 era. What the hell?
So I'm interested in delving deeper into the demographics of the Fallout community. Thank you. And this guy, and then was it the response? Let's see. Yes. Dude, Microsoft only purchased ZeniMax back in March 2021. So even a TV show would have been a development pre-acquisition. You can try and revise history all you want, but the Fallout available today has nothing to do with Microsoft and Xbox.
He's so adamant to set the record to not give.
Yes.
Like, what's the motivation to go so hard in the paint so that Microsoft doesn't get no credit? Why do you care that much? Why do y'all care that much? Like, they come in hard. It's the Sony Defense Force. You remember that? The SDF? Remember we used to call that all the time?
Yeah.
Yo, it's the Sony Defense Force. I don't know why we ever stop using that. Yo, I'm going to bring that back. The Sony Defense Force is out in spades against everything, bro. Look at the shit that was going on with Legal. Oh, my God. To show some kid's picture, then try to associate him with. Well, I'm like, wow.
So this guy, another guy comes in and says, can you provide source and data supporting what you're saying? Pretty much what I'm saying, right? And I was like, Fallout originally released in 1997. The most acclaimed Fallout in is New Vegas, fine, which wasn't developed by Bethesda and released by 2010. The claim most Fallout fans are Xbox people is laughable and baseless. Well, we know it's by Obsidian that New Vegas was developed. Who owns Obsidian?
Xbox.
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 So it's almost over. So my response, of course, I gotta say something. I can't just stop there. I never claimed that Fallout community is mostly. I never claimed that Fallout community is mostly of Xbox fans, because I never did. All I'm asking for is for stats info that states which platform has the most fans and players.
They were salty about that. You're right, because why would they say all of a sudden that? Because it wasn't you, it was them.
Yeah, it was them.
That's how heated they are. They don't want to think that Xbox is above them in any kind of way.
Yeah, it's like, not much to ask for since you're saying other platforms have bigger fan base. Thanks. And then this is where he went off the rails. He goes, you're the one making BS claims. The onus to provide data is on you. There are no per platform breakdowns of player sales per device. Okay, then how do you know that Xbox doesn't have the most? Not saying that they do, but how can you claim they don't have it?
Right, if he's the one talking about that in the first place.
If he's saying there are no per platform breakdowns of player. So he continues on. Hence why I'm saying it's BS to assume it's mainly. I'm not assuming anything. I never said that. Assuming it's mainly Xbox. There is no evidence whatsoever for this. And I respond one last time.
You must retort again.
Oh, but your claim that Fallout fans are not made of mainly Xbox without any backup is valid. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. Just want to see where you're getting this from. No need to get all mad. You're the trust me, bro guy. I get it. That's it.
Whoa.
That was it.
Trust me, bro. Yo, and none of these dudes are getting any likes. It's like, I know it's
well, I'm
like
not either.
It's like the porn spam, right? Anytime I get a tweet that gets some activity, or even if I just put even a tweet, right? Yeah. Not only sometimes when I get these ponies who put a blind answer, right? Like out of spite, just like all these guys, right? Mm-hmm. They'll get no followers, and then I'll get like the porn shit. But it's like the porn shit and these ponies who pop in, right? With no views, recent account, all ponied out when you go and look at their likes and replies. Yeah. Well, all the shit, all those things, like lots of muted people. So I already know he's on the fuck shit, right? That's the easy red flag that I put, right? Yeah. So I'll see it filled in their accounts. The account is recent. It's always about that same bullshit. It's like just like the porn bots. Like you get these follows all of a sudden out of nowhere, right? Sometimes they don't even have a profile picture. It just all be the same shit. It just be robotic, bro.
Yep. All right. So that was a fun interaction earlier today. I was getting really sidetracked with my work. with my job because of that interaction there, because it was just too funny. Both with the VGC guy, the editor or the author of the article, and like 2 or 3 random dudes that just lost it, man. They lost it. All right. Going back to the women stuff. Look, it's no secret. Sex sells. Sexy sells. Sexy women sells. It's just the nature of marketing. Anything visual, it just does. Okay, and I'm not gonna apologize it because I'm a guy or anything like that. No. But with the whole Outlaws and Stellar Blade Eve being as sexy as it is, and the male gaze from the inverse, Outlaws being fugly as F. Does it matter in the game? At the end, no, it doesn't. But
well, the fugly is annoying.
Yes, it is annoying. It is annoying.
Ugly, like listen, bro. Forget all whatever accusations of woke and the DLC and the monetization of the game and all that other bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. The girl is fugly, bro.
Yeah,
in the game. It's not a good. If it was a fugly dude, I think the issue would be almost the same because like we gotta look at this dude all like it can't be like it's a pain to look at.
And
That's
here
what
is
problem
the actual
Pain to look at.
person who it's modeled after, and they completely destroyed her Mopac, or whatever you want to call it. So that's the model right there on the left.
They her up. They fuggied her up on purpose. It
Yes.
seems like almost.
And I like with Stellar Blade, the guys did not hold back. There's a place here I want you to read. I want to read here. While E's body was made from a scan of Shin's, which is a model, her face was made in-house. And Shin wasn't used for motion capture. They said they didn't choose an athlete or a martial artist or even an actor, said Denny, which is, I guess, one of the guys for Stellar Blade. You don't want Shin as a performer. Again, the model. You just want her from the neck down. It seems to be very much of a statement of the parts of this woman that are of value, which is true. I'm not gonna apologize. It's straight up true, man. You know, sex sells.
Korean Maxim.
You know, it's just,
Korean Maxim on YouTube. You know, they made so much fun of it. I think the Koreans are thinking this whole thing is funny.
Poe's like, she ain't fugly. Yes, she is, man. The one on the right.
She's fugly. She's fucking ugly.
With that butt chin, dude. Only like Buzz Lightyear should have a butt chin. Maybe the Flea. What's it called?
Oh, American Dad.
American Dad. Yes. But this crack.
I'm just tired of people trying to tell me that what's unattractive is attractive.
Yes.
Or to accept what I don't think is attractive as attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a perfect example of that.
Yes.
Lizzo. How many? You ask her what? No.
Yes.
Check it out. I seen this video. You know, this dude, he goes around to big girls, right? And he asked, but not just big girls, right? He has a couple skinny ones, you know, just to balance it out, right? Same thing, right? So he goes to him and he says, he starts talking about beauty and blah, blah, blah. And he says, what do you think about Lizzo? Oh, Lizzo's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. You know, all the bullshit you hear all the time, right? And then
all
he
the
says
PC
to them,
shit, right?
right? And then he says to them, what if I said you look like Lizzo?
Oh.
Bro,
They went
they be
off.
swinging on him. They be swinging on him. I'm not kidding. They be swinging on him like they're trying to hit him.
Wow.
And that proves it all right there.
Wow.
Yeah, they can't brainwash us all. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they can make these game characters not pretty. If the game is good, it's fine. You know,
Hey man,
but
even
I
some
understand
aliens from Mass Effect are more sexier than what this abomination is.
I understand that it's about the agenda, but like, don't try to talk to us like we don't piss on us and tell us it's raining. We know why you're doing it, but we don't have to buy into it, you know, or agree or verbally agree to it. Just accept it and keep pushing. But I mean, I saw what they did with her. They made her look like the Junker in Walking Dead. You know, the trash lady in Walking Dead. I don't know if y'all watched Walking Dead, but they made her look like that with those bangs.
No more zombies.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I understand what they're doing. If the game's good, people will forget how they made her less attractive.
Man, I don't know if to
But
forget this.
it's no secret. It's no secret why Stellar Blade is amongst the most played demos on PlayStation. I mean, come on. I mean, how else were you going to sell a lot of those Japanese games that you basically don't play them? So they have the jiggles. You know what I mean? The girls walking around in panties. You know, I mean, what else are they going to sell the game with?
Not Dead or Alive. It was
Dead or Alive volleyball was one.
the volleyball one. Yes.
Dead or Alive fighting too. I mean,
Yes.
Chun-Li had jiggles.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't
And that's a
understand.
symbol female empowerment, like women power, like a strong woman, Chun-Li.
Yeah,
like,
but if men are playing these games and the majority of them are men, why would you take away what we want to play? Why would you take away what we want to see? I mean, I understand
because you're
like,
not supposed to
doing.
see them in that sort of way.
Yeah.
Realist.
Okay, fine. Because you had the
That's
big
why.
wrestling chick, one of the Street Fighters. Like, come on, dudes. They're mostly dudes playing these games, and that's why you can change the outfits on the characters,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just let people play what they want instead of trying to force something on them. It's not going to make people desire women any less. And like they have every explanation in the book to explain this away. Oh, don't need to sexualize women. I mean, when did they start making ugly superheroes? You know what I mean? When it comes to the men, you get the people's most beautiful men, and then when it comes to the superhero women, they got a butchy woman. It's they gotta start making sense somewhere. But the one thing they are trying to make sense with is they have to get a strong, manly woman to be a superhero. It's like men are associated with strength and saviors. It is what it is. I mean, how many women can carry somebody down the ladder in a burning house? It just is what it is. I don't understand why we're trying to upset the whole common sense of the way the world's always operated. And I don't want to start talking about it because then, it's not like we have 50 million people watching this. You have somebody that's so righteous and don't want to hear this.
Speak on it. Like Eagle said.
But no, seriously, you guys
Tell them louder
understand.
for the people in the back.
You guys understand, man. Sick, you're a big fella. You probably don't do a whole bunch of exercise, but you can do what you got to do when push comes to shove over Lizzo.
Bro, let me tell you, man. I'm not trying to brag stuff or anything, because I don't really work out or nothing, right? But I used to like practice martial arts and shit, right? But like, I don't understand. For me, it was a simple thing. You see these dukes right here? They work, bro. They work, bro. I'm not gonna out if I got to, bro. I don't want it to come to that, but I ain't afraid for it to
Poe
be
wants
that.
Lizzo all over him.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. Jesus Christ, I don't have a problem with big girls. I really do not.
Like, man.
It's her attitude more than anything, even her bigness, right? That's what it is for me, worst of all, besides all of that. It's the attitude that go with it. But anyway, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm not trying to be out there like that, but like, if I can. Like, you can't come and tell me I can't. It's an easy assumption. You see where it was a simple assumption based on my stats. I'm 6'4", 239. Don't come and fuck with this and think you're gonna, get out scot-free. Like, why would you try it for no good reason? I'm not looking for that either. But there are people out there, they do the equivalent of that in so many ways, men and women. And they want to sit there and act victim after the fact. When like a little dog knows not to fuck with a big dog, right? And even when you got a little Chihuahua like barking at a big, Doberman or something, even the Doberman just look at it like, man, get the hell up out my. He don't even sweat it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But that just allows the little Chihuahua who probably just needs to get bit to shut up, right? To keep on barking. And that's the same thing that's going on. It's just the same shit.
If we had an American company develop this part of the game, this would be all flat, like a washboard.
Look at Bayonetta. She dances for herself. She's not dancing for anybody's attention or whatever. She's or even
Bayonetta game is unreal, man. That thing is crazy. I love the
She-Hulk. Look what they did to She-Hulk. That was a feminist icon for the ages in comic books, right? Strong, smart, fierce, and all of that.
Don't need no man.
Bro. No, but she was never like that. But still a feminist icon in all the ideals, the real ideals of all of that. But they went and changed it for no good reason.
Yeah, She-Hulk was all.
It didn't make sense.
It was bad.
But that's what I don't understand. Like, but we went through this again. We talked about all this. Just create a new character and let her be strong, bisexual, and whatever, and just see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like, instead of like, it feels like they're forcing it, and it's not just a feeling they are forcing it, but most people aren't comfortable with it. The only people who are comfortable with it are the people who are down with the agenda.
Yep. It's awful. I don't like it. I want the sexiness in. Always like it.
We all do.
And it sells.
They've neutered it. They've been successful in neutering a lot of dudes to the point to where they're afraid to speak out about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
she doesn't have to be sexy, but she doesn't have to be ugly. She just literally ugly. That's the problem.
no, stop acting like all of a sudden you don't like sexy. We got to stop acting like we didn't. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, stop acting like you didn't like Chun-Li's jiggle physics.
Woo!
She's been jiggling since Street Fighter 2.
And still was a feminist icon. That's the thing.
I let Dead or Alive play on auto mode.
See, there's a reason why that auto mode is there.
Yep.
I bought the volleyball game for the volleyball. I'm not lying.
The volleyball thing was funny, man. I bought that too. I'm not gonna lie. I bought the volleyball.
I actually like volleyball.
The volleyball one was funny, man. They're like, hey, you gotta take pictures of them. You have to make them pose. They need to bring that.
Yeah, and right before they pose, they jiggle. You know what I mean? You gotta, dude. They've neutered men to the point where they're afraid to say that they like sexy women, and it's a sad state. You know, we're getting the beginning of it. Imagine our boys. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
What they're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, God, man.
I feel sorry for mine that, you know, eventually he'll be dating.
I feel sorry for you too that you gotta deal with your boys dealing with that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be awful, man, for him.
Behold, I send you amongst the wolves,
son.
Yeah, I know what that is, huh? That's Devil's Advocate. But yeah, I'm tired of these. I'm tired of, you know, the agenda. But I know that we are powerless because BlackRock has the final say. BlackRock controls 7% of Microsoft, $1 trillion corporation. So imagine how much they own of smaller corporations. So, and they're the ones with the agenda. They pull their 7%, and it can start a mini panic.
Look what Poe said.
Look
what Poe said. I like Hitomi and Kasumi. I hope I'm saying that right. Kasumi. Oops, I don't like sexuality in my games.
Of course you like it, and they drew it just for you, and people like you.
You know who has some nice female characters?
Now that's
Final Fantasy. Tifa, can't deny Tifa.
Oh boy, the jiggle physics on that one, huh? Jesus Christ.
Tifa, yeah, and then you can change your clothes. Oh, yeah.
Of course. I mean, they're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason. Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like when all else fails. You know how like what's the name of that the Horizon? They said they're gonna introduce NPCs when players get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When all else fails, you can watch Tifa walk around. You know another game like that I've been playing, Atelier Reza. That chick got some big old legs.
Oh, nice. But look what they did to old Triangle Tits herself. You know who I mean, right?
Who?
Old Triangle Tits.
Oh,
Triangle Tits.
Well, here we go.
Lara Croft, right?
Lara Croft. Yeah, they flatter her out, man. They flatten her out. Yeah. But this one, the new one, their new game, Shadows of Truth. Do you guys even know about this? About this Tomb Raider version?
Is that like the remix or something?
Yeah.
So this version or this release of Tomb Raider called Shadows of Truth, it has it's not your typical tomb raiding game, because that's what we know Lara Croft to do. She's raiding tombs across the world, right? That's always been, always has been, always will be. But they took it upon themselves to make this new Tomb Raider. I'm sure whoever owns the IP had to give it the okay. But they're not going to be raiding tombs anymore, because that's a disrespect to the locals of that tomb. Like the indigenous people that live there. Is disrespect. So we can't.
Well, then if you don't want to disrespect them, if you don't want to be disrespectful, don't raid their fucking tombs.
So that's what this Tomb Raider is about. It's not about raiding the tombs and taking the artifacts that you find in there, whether to put them, to keep them for yourself, or put them in a museum, but it's to find the truth about the culture and the indigenous people. And that is your shadow of truth.
Hold up a second. That was the excuse they used when they went to go raid the tombs. What are you talking about?
And so this studio here was so upset that in the previous Tomb Raiders, that it was all about stealing and disrespecting the indigenous people, the culture, and the location, is that this is going to be a completely opposite thing. And I hope it fails, which I think it will.
The location's fictional anyway.
Yes, that's the thing too. People are upset over fictional locations. They should put a disclaimer at the beginning: no location was harmed in the making of this game, or something like that.
Or culture was disrespected.
Exactly. Yes.
We took careful consideration into creating all original content.
Yes.
Look, man, there are people. Because I know natives, right? Mm-hmm. And the things that the white people are offended for them about, they're not even offended. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're offended that you're here in the first place. But they're not offended about a lot of the things they're trying to say that we're offending them about. And this is just another example of that. Like, how are you going to be offended for people? Like, what natives are going to be upset about fictional locations?
But how can he be Tomb Raider if you're not really raiding a tomb? It's not a. It's like leave the tomb alone, person.
We'll see. It sounds like Game Pass to me.
It sounds like free to play to me.
No. That's what it does. Yep.
Free to play on a mobile device, not even on console.
Not even worth pirating.
Not even worth a pirate download or anything and try to figure. No, not even.
I'm gonna have to look into that, man, because it's getting crazy. Like,
it is.
What they're doing. I mean, eventually they're gonna have to figure something out, because they've been losing money with this whole initiative.
And at what point did they finally say, well, you know what, this is not working out and we're not going to believe this in crap no more? We'd rather just go back to the old way where it was making money and everything was fine then.
But then you risk the people pulling their money.
And which people are that? The ones that are against it, which they're not making money anyways for that group of people.
I mean, they make some money, just not as much.
Hogwarts. How much money did Hogwarts make?
but see, Hogwarts was not the issue. The issue was J.K. Rowling's opinions outside of
the issue. Is irrelevant, I think, though. Right? It's always some issue, whatever the issue is. There's always going to be this loud minority, right, who sits there and complains about it. Meanwhile, everybody just moves the fuck on and it sells, right? And that's what happened with Hogwarts. All that talk, and the only thing that was stolen from it was Game of the Year, right? It wasn't even nominated. Other than that, did it really matter? No. It sold copies. All the people that was mad about it, there were those among them who would buy it just to destroy it. That counts as a sale. That offset, I feel, anybody who didn't buy it off of that shit, because there was enough of them who did that. It wasn't just a one-off. There was a lot of people who did that, right?
You paid $70 for that?
Me? No, I'm just saying.
No, not you. I'm just saying whoever did it. That's dumb.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And it offsets, somebody who claims they weren't gonna buy it anymore because of that. Like, I don't know, all of a sudden, And it was funny too, because those people were rare and it made no sense. Like, so you didn't know all this time, or it's only now you decided not to fuck with the franchise anymore because of all the pushback it's getting. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a minority. The game moved on and sold crazy numbers on because it was on everything, and it was a good game on top of that, according to those who played it. So like,
Yeah, it was a good game. I
whatever,
mean, I
bro.
didn't finish. I haven't
Whatever, bro.
finished it yet, but it's been good so far. But the
Yeah,
thing is, it's like it just shows you that it's kind of like PlayStation fans, right? All this talk about exclusives and they don't buy them, right? And it's like all this talk about it's just like again with the women's sports. It's like they do all this lip service, but they're not speaking with their monies.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Imagine how many people went out to Twitter and all these other social media platforms talking junk about the game, went out, played the game, and beat it.
Yeah.
You know, some people just want to be a part of the conversation. It's like you can't take any of them seriously, but what like companies like Disney should take seriously is that they're losing their fans. Like, why take away why people came in the first place? Same thing with these games. You know,
To
that's going to
accommodate
challenge
that
them to
small
be.
percentage are outraged. Like,
Well, the small percentage weren't even playing the games and watching the movies to begin with.
yep.
That's the problem that I have with it. I can see if there was this big, huge outcry of homosexuals that wanted to be in video games, in movies. I'm pretty sure they want to be represented in movies, but I've never seen them come speak out about being in video games. You know,
that's that's why it's an agenda. Like, they're pushing all these things in media of all forms to push what people think and change their mindset, and now let them choose for themselves because they're so indoctrinated. You see it in all forms of media, so it's slowly they're trying to change people's opinions on purpose. That's why it's called an agenda, because it truly seems to be.
Bro, could you imagine a woke James Bond? I don't want to call it woke because they hijacked that term. That's not what woke means. A DEI centric James Bond.
You can't have a
Bro.
James Bond who's a simp. You can't. No.
You see that?
James Bond always got the girl. Indy always got the girl. Man, imagine what they're gonna do with Indiana Jones. Microsoft's in on it too, man. They're not immune to that. You know, this smoke, man. They playing the same game. They did the same thing to the chick on Fable. She's prettier than the character.
Western Game Dev has been here. How can you tell? Ugly women.
Yep. Cause see, like Melina's versions for Mara and Hellblade, like she's seen as the average looking lady, so they can use her 1-to-1.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Well, he is now.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I was scared of that movie, man. I watched it. I saw that movie when I was like 5.
What, Mask?
Yeah,
I thought it was real.
Scared. I mean, there are people who look like that now, but I was scared. Like I literally had to go sleep on the floor in my parents' room because I was having dreams about Rocky. You laugh, but I'm serious.
No, this picture here. It's like normal woman, Western Game woman. They like jacked up her jaw and everything. This Photoshop.
God.
This one, Laura.
Jamie Presley.
I don't know who that is, man. It kind of looks like her, doesn't it? And then this one.
She from the little town I grew up in.
It's like, looks like Leon from Resident Evil on the right side. Oh my god. And then this one, it doesn't look any different. This one does. This is the girl from The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no lie. She get the business. I tug on her nose.
Oh shit.
I'm about to lose it here. Oh my god. She looks like she's beginning to morph into the devil from Legends, Butterface to Rilsey. Oh my god. Oh, that's too funny.
Why?
See, they made a beautiful woman look like Jen from the Dark Crystal.
What's the name? Oh yeah, the Dark Crystal.
Oh, there's a Chad. This is okay. Some of the things that people come up with, man, it just cracks me up. Oh well, there's nothing more. I put a chicken and make her gay.
Ain't nothing to that, man. I try to ignore that stuff as much as possible because, like I said, nothing that's gonna change it.
No.
Because it's like they're teaching it in school. They're teaching telling you what to like, what to accept. It's like you can accept somebody for whoever they are. You don't have to agree with it. Just let them live their lives. You don't have to enforce these types of things, but that's the route they're taking, and they're spending a lot of money to get it done.
Poe says they wanted to shame men for having a hard-on. It's like, I'm sorry for my hard-on. I apologize.
It's true. It's true. It's true, you pig.
I know. Sorry.
Pig.
Oink, 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 oink.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Why you sexualizing me?
Sorry.
So what do y'all think about PlayStation running another Xbox play?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're getting ready to they're integrating PC into PlayStation the same way Xbox has already done.
Well, been waiting on that for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was told they're not going to do it.
Games.
That's what
I'm sure you were.
Told you that.
But who told you? You got to consider the source.
Yeah. Well, the pony source is 100%, right? That's what I'm told.
Yeah, the pony source are 100% in the pony circles.
Yes.
But nah, look.
I did see that Xbox games are taking over the PlayStation Store, though.
See, that's another thing we can get into because PlayStation fans seem to think that it's a good thing that Xbox dominates their storefront.
Really?
Yeah, like they're celebrating every Xbox game that comes, and then you have Sea of Thieves announcing new player highs when it comes to count, and then you got Call of Duty on the way. Look, if you already had PlayStation afraid to compete on the JRPG front, the shooter front, and what else? Like they don't want to compete. So what are they going to do with their games if all they have to do is just be a storefront?
But shouldn't
if
PlayStation fans be pissed right now that Xbox games are topping the charts in their store?
Well, they
look at it. That's what I think.
They think it's a win. I think they really believe it's a win. But the problem is,
well, if they think that, that's because they psych themselves out into thinking that.
What,
I don't know, but
is there arguments saying like, oh, it made it to the top 10 in our charts, but not in yours? It's like, well, ours has been out for years, so of course it won't be the top 10 right now.
Well, no, the argument is Xbox is going full third party. But the thing is, if PlayStation could just sit back and be a storefront, then they become Steam. They don't have to make games. Yeah. Like you look at this year, they don't have they got these live service games, but no big games. And they said at least until March, and you got a lot of people assuming that means March. The next Spider-Man could come out in June for all we know. It could come out even later than that.
Yeah.
So when you have a PlayStation where they could just sit back and collect 30% and not spend any money, let Microsoft come and dominate their platform. See, this is what I think that it's starting to come to me because I've been saying, like, what was Jim talking about when he was talking to the guy in the email and he said they're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about exclusivity. This isn't an exclusivity play at all. They're thinking much bigger. You see PlayStation slowly moving towards PC. right? But I knew that they would do everything Xbox did at their own pace. You see, PlayStation, they're gonna go ahead and integrate PlayStation into PC. Now I'm wondering if you're gonna have to log in through PlayStation and get trophies and you get Steam achievements. I wonder how they're gonna play that, because the launcher's been in development for a while.
Yeah.
And I think Sick and I, we've had to talk about how that's a losing proposition.
But having their own launcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they gotta try, just like everybody else. They have to at least try. I mean, because if you don't try,
why? Because they don't want to pay Steam and all them.
I was surprised they didn't, or at least they didn't do the thing, or do a deal with Epic, right? Because at first, I think the first couple of titles they were doing the Epic thing, right? The exclusivity to Epic thing, I think. Well,
no, they didn't have any exclusivity. Square did. Square got Final Fantasy games first.
Square did. Okay, right. But so I was surprised that never happened with Sony, or either that or their own launcher, right? I was surprised with that. It never made sense to me. So,
well, I mean, they gotta try, because I thought that they would partner up with Epic since they're already in bed with them on other things. But nobody wants to give Steam or any other launcher. But see, the thing that I'm looking at is like, okay, it's been cool for PlayStation to do it all this time, but now it's their turn to play by the same rules. They don't want to, because without those 30%, I guess commissions, royalties, whatever you call them, on PlayStation, we're not talking about PlayStation as any kind of market leader, because nothing that they do is a huge seller. But we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna go the same route the Xbox is going. They're gonna try to keep you in their ecosystem. See, like with Xbox, you go into Xbox, you have the Xbox app. But if you go on Steam, Steam has all the Xbox games. They even have an Xbox publisher sale going on right now. Sony is gonna have to figure out how they're gonna make it work. But at the end of the day, the walls are coming down on all storefronts. A lot of these developers, they're not inclined to give up their money. I read those emails between Sweeney and what's his name, Gabe. Everybody's being squeezed right now, and everybody's trying to make more money. So that 30% they're coming for, we're gonna see what happens in the future, but I see the walls coming down.
Yeah, Poe's right. I mean, like he said, you guys still buying into pony narratives, but PS5 sold 1 trillion.
What pony narratives?
Everything.
I don't buy into anything PlayStation fans say.
And PS5 sold 1 trillion.
I mean, if it did sell $1 trillion, good for them. They can sell a trillion consoles, but they're not selling, 200 million God of War copies. You know what I mean? It's like that's their problem. They can sell all the consoles they want to, and 100 is more than 30. That's why Nintendo is where they are. Xbox has been able to remedy being able to sell or not being able to sell exclusives in other ways. They've gone to other platforms. They have a service that includes all their titles.
Word.
And they said that, through Game Pass, games like Pentiment are allowed to come out or given an opportunity to come out. Because they don't need every game to be a hit. PlayStation needs every game to be a hit. I'm sure Nintendo does too, but not as much as PlayStation. So I don't buy anything the ponies say, because the ponies, I don't really interact with ponies, not even on the internet anymore. Because just like that guy you talking about or talking to, the truth doesn't really matter to them. And it's hard to really have a conversation with people who don't tell the truth.
So,
but yeah, man, go ahead.
No. I'm pretty much done with the topics.
But yeah, man. They said they weren't gonna be on PC. To me, this just paves the way
for a long time. About how they're gonna go to PC eventually, and at their own pace.
That's like the last barrier to day and date. I mean, what else is left, right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they still don't have the manpower. If you look at Ghost of Tsushima, that's
Nah,
Nix's
they
and
bought that
Sucker
one
Punch.
studio that ports over to PC. Come on now.
I just said that,
Oh, did
but
you?
they can only do so much. Nix's is
Well, they
did
need
that
to
in
hire some more
conjunction.
people, man. Chop, chop. Get to it. Gotta
Well,
get those sales.
well, well, another thing that they could do would be what everybody else does, and just develop for PlayStation and PC. It shouldn't be anything that they really have to learn. You know what I mean? Especially if they're going to be on Steam. Steam runs Linux.
Just copy, paste, and export to PC. Done.
It seems like it's not that simple. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to purchase Nixes in the first place because they use them. What's the other one? Iron or Steel? Iron something? Iron Galaxy?
No, they're
Iron Galaxy? I don't think so.
They do killer.
Okay. Who did the Uncharted 4 PlayStation? I'm sorry, PC port thing.
Let me get my producer on it. Hey, can you look that up real quick?
You can. You're on the computer right now.
Oh yeah.
You look up Twitter, you can look that up. But I'm pretty sure it is Iron Galaxy. But like, they have to outsource it, and when they outsource it, it doesn't come out as well as that. Like Nixus does it.
Iron Galaxy.
So that's it. I was pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so like, but if you saw all of the complaints about Uncharted 4 when it came out, you know, so they can't trust outsourcing because right now PlayStation is in the reputation building phase. You know what I mean? And if they keep dropping poor ports, then PC players aren't going to even check for these games when they do start coming out day and date.
Poe mentions Helldivers 2. I might have to end up.
But Helldivers 2 is Arrowhead.
I may have to end up getting the PS5 version.
Why?
Because my son keeps asking me, get the PS5 version. I'm like, oh. So that means I gotta buy PSN as well because I don't.
That's because he wasted that money on that PC version, not listening. You know, hard headed. He could have had it already.
Yeah. I was like, I'll wait a little bit longer.
Hey man, the same way he bought that PC version, he should buy that PlayStation version.
I was like, why don't you go to Target? Get your bike and go to Target.
Yeah, never fix the situation from him. Let him learn from the experience, bro.
Yep.
Really.
Yep. True that.
Because all he really tried to do was do an end run around you. That was the motivation.
We talked about it earlier today.
So that's the part that has to get punished. Don't do it for him. The same way he bought the wrong version, he can go back and buy the right version. That's simple.
Yeah. I was looking at my Steam account and he was there. He was here with me, and I go, look, I got $16 in my account. And I looked at him and say, thank you. I said, I'm gonna buy a game. He said, it's my money. It's like, it's my account. It's like, so I could play Helldivers on my PC because I got a better video card. Yep. So what have you guys been playing lately?
Oh man, yeah. I wanted to say, so the whole week, of course, I've been using that, RGB 30. It's real nice and all.
Pow Kitty,
right. But so the other day, like 2 days ago, I turned on my ROG Ally that I hadn't had on for a week, right, because of the RGB 30
updates.
So I turned it on. It was in hibernate or whatever that whole time. It booted right back to where it was, right, with whatever was running in Windows in the background, and the battery was only 78%. Now you'd be like, oh, that's a good little drain over time. No, because I use that option where it only charges as far as 80%, right, to make the battery last longer, right. I rarely, if ever, put the battery to 100% unless I'm taking it out the house, and then I'll let it charge. There's an option where you can let it, like, you press the button and then when you charge it, it'll charge 100% up until the next time, and then it'll go back to 80, right? So basically, when I turned it off, it was plugged in, or when I put it to hibernate, I thought I turned it off. When I pressed the power button, it went to hibernate. It was plugged in when I did that. So that means it only lost 2% in like a week and a half, maybe, right? And was right where I left off in the system. And I was like, oh snap! And that reminded me, that was one thing I never liked about the Steam Deck. People always talk all this stuff about the Steam Deck. It was one thing I really didn't like. if I didn't play it for a week or whatever, or even 3-4 days, when I turn it on, battery's dead. And I mean, down to 0. It never kept a charge. And it was off. It wasn't in no hibernation like I made the mistake with my RG Ally in this example, right? No, it was off. And the battery would still drain all out. I'm like, yo, really? I don't think I ever mentioned that. I was just like, yo, why does that is so stupid? Because even the RGB30, the POW Kitty will hibernate, right? It'll slowly drain the battery, but not as fast as the Steam Deck did, where in 3-4 days it was all dead. I'm like, yo, that's the thing I noticed that, from all the stuff I was playing and doing with the RGB30, I was playing a lot of just retro stuff all week, right? It's that honeymoon period with the handheld, and so that's what I've been doing and playing. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that I noticed that with the RG Ally, and then it reminded me that what was going on with the Steam Deck. Yeah, I just had to share that. That was crazy. What do you call it? Epiphany. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Man, I've been playing. I'm still playing Crime Boss. It's not that great, but I gotta finish it because I bought it. And I went back to playing Minecraft Dungeons because I got all their DLCs right now, and I want to finish that stuff.
Oh, that's the one that's like Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Tactics. You played that too, though.
Tactics?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Oh, you mean Legends?
You played it. Well, yeah, it's a Tactics one.
Yeah. Legends.
Minecraft Legends.
That's fun. That one's fun too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know you love Minecraft.
I like those type of Minecrafts. The OG Minecraft, not so much, man. I'll fall asleep on that.
Oh.
But
man.
Minecraft story mode, if you can find it, because it's delisted. Legends is good and Dungeons is good. I like those. Because they're simple gameplay, man. There's really nothing hard about it. And it's a 4-player co-op, which makes it more fun. So, see, even Poe says Legends is good. You needed more content. It does. It does need more content.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not good or anything, because I want to play the Manor game that's coming out. But that's a different type of game.
Yeah.
But I played AOE 4, a little bit of 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I played a lot of AOE 4. So I mean, hey, I'm not gonna knock what you like, man.
Nah, I'm gonna play these probably until Hellblade comes out.
I'm gonna play some Harold Halibut later. But Xbox had another huge sale, so I bought a game called Deadcraft.
A what?
Deadcraft. It's a crafting game, but with zombies.
Oh.
It was. I mean, it was on my wish list on Steam, but it's $20 on Steam, and it was $5 with all the DLC on Xbox. So I bought it on Xbox, and I've been playing that. Basically, you're in the apocalypse, obviously, and you get to craft your. Really, it's to me, it's lightweight crafting because you're crafting. Yeah, I guess in a way it is kind of
Deadcraft.
Yeah, Deadcraft.
$6 right now on Xbox.
Oh, $6. I thought I paid $5 for the DLC or whatever.
You got deluxe edition on Xbox for $5.99.
Yep. So, yeah, if you like that kind of game, I guess it's not quite. I guess it does have those state of decay elements because you do set up all that stuff in state of decay, but state of decay is way more advanced. But I'm reaching a point to where I want to quit, but I know I'm close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So the loop in the beginning is very grindy. Like you can't go too far away because your survivability is too low.
Yeah.
So you have to build up your strength so that you can venture out a little bit further and a little bit further. But that's a grind because and then your weapons, you gotta find a way to get better weapons. It's a
Mm-hmm.
long grind at first, and then the game kind of gets simpler until you get to like a boss. But I know I'm almost at the end. And of course, I'm playing Super Mega Baseball. You know what I'm saying? All the time.
I was
What
asking
what
if
else?
you
What
played
else?
Valheim.
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 Valheim. I did not play. But isn't that in Game Pass though?
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much of the survival games I can
Yeah,
deal with
that's me
because
too.
they're very involved and time consuming.
They are time consuming.
Because another game that I get in again is Power World because I noticed that I no longer have it 100%. So they added some new content to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's supposed to have like this multiplayer arena and all kinds of other stuff. I saw that you can capture two extra pals or encounter two extra pals. So I know there's at least two more bosses or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But for the most part, man, when I play Power, when I don't really play Power World, I just leave it on.
It's like a breed or what? Or
Yeah,
and,
because to incubate.
yeah.
Because I finally got the role that I wanted on a Shadow Beak. You know, the vicious, no ferocious,
Yeah.
muscle head. So I got the 4 perks I wanted on the Shadow Beak, and then now I'm working on a because if hey, don't laugh because if PvP is what they say it's gonna be, you're gonna need the best pals you can get. I mean, and I hope that they get rid of the people, uh, or they nerf the boss Shadow Beak because when the game first started, you were able to capture the boss's pals.
Mm-hmm.
So like but now you can't capture them. And there's a Shadow Beak. He has a move that you can only the boss Shadow Beak can do.
Mm.
And it's I forgot what it's called, but it's very overpowered. And hopefully they get rid of the people, or they don't let those people play with the people who weren't able to capture the boss pals.
Yeah.
Because there's a I want to call him a Raichu. What is he? Grisbolt. A Grisbolt
Yeah.
that
Grisbolt.
the boss has. And then there's a Phalaris, and
The fat
I'm pretty
Pikachu.
sure, right. And the Phalaris is the Firebird, and they have perks that you won't be able to catch from. You can't breed it in either, or it's not the perks that they have. It's the move set.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You'll never be able to evolve into those moves. So yeah, when it Power World now, it's pretty much just breeding. I don't have anything else to do. My base is like 5 stories high. It's like it's nothing to do. Like, and then the first 2 floors or the top 2 floors of my base is nothing but incubators. Because you need 120 pals to fully level up the pal.
Jeez.
So basically you just incubating and sacrificing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did Sick fall asleep?
No, he's
Well, I'm
not
here.
talking about
Yeah,
Power
I've
World.
done it. Yeah, I've done it. Say about Power.
I know you played it a little bit. That's why I'm talking about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Power World, Deadcraft, and Super Mega Baseball. There's some other games I dabbled in, man. I can't get back into Final Fantasy. There's stuff that I'd much rather be playing, but I'm playing Final Fantasy 12 when I get the chance, and Persona 3.
Yeah.
Cause see, I bought Persona the bundle right when it left Game Pass, the three and 4 bundle, and then I bought 5. That's like 200 hours right there.
Yeah. Those Persona games are long.
Well, I mean,
It's a lot of
yeah, those are
reading.
all Persona games because I even bought like some of the Shin Megami Tensei, and I got some of them from like PSP on my emulator. But I don't think I want to play all those games. I read once I read there were like 30 of them. I don't want to play it anymore. I'll just start at 5 and whatever happens happens.
Going back to the Fallout show and the game, I forgot to mention this. I got all excited saying how they're on point with the show or with the game. The soundtrack, the same thing as the game. The music, the oldie type music, was the same. Like I recognized every tune that was played in the show.
That was the easy one to do, though, right? Just take, because they already did all that hard work. Just play the music in the background.
Just play the music in the background. Yes, and anything you discover, you got that kind of, like type music that it has in Fallout, and they played that too. And like, dude, like everything was in it. Everything that was in the game, you hear it and you see it in the show. It was amazing. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, they did a great job, man. And that, like Halo Season 2, I didn't watch Halo Season 1 more than once, but Halo Season 2, I watched that up until episode 6 twice.
Okay, that character, the Brotherhood of Steel character, that the main one, the one that took over the suit. Because you're that far. You're already far enough where the guy took over.
You mean use my cock?
Huh?
You mean use my cock? You don't know the part I'm talking about?
Where he took off his little shield, cock shield, and said,
"No, dude. No,
oh,
dude.
explode my cock." Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Is he?
It's like that.
Is he like Denzel's son? Because he looks just like a younger version of him.
Nah, Denzel's son is older.
Oh, okay.
Son like 35.
Because he has that droopy face, like he's not happy. Of course he's in an apocalypse setting, but he has like this kind of like bored, sad looking face. And when he was making those faces, it's like, dude, it looks like Denzel right there, like a young version of Denzel.
You ever see the movie Tenet?
Yes.
That's Denzel Washington's son.
Oh, is it? Okay.
John David Washington or something like that.
Explode my cock. You want to explode my cock? Yes.
No. he said, "You mean use my cock?" Yeah. Because like people are like, why is he like that? It's like, dude, he's just been around these dudes, and then the one chick that's there, she's a dude. But I don't know if you paid attention when those dudes were beating off in the back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had my daughter. I was like, okay.
All
right, she didn't say nothing. Because she, I was gonna watch it with them. Kind of gruesome. But man, man, it's probably one of the best character build-ups and backstory is the ghoul.
The ghoul? Well,
yeah. They make you want to like the ghoul.
Well, they haven't shown how he became the ghoul.
No, but they've shown.
They will.
His backstory.
Yes.
And well, they've give you like tips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you pay attention. But like I said, that show is so good that I'm gonna probably watch it again. It's like Halo. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes because I don't want to finish it. But I've watched the same 6 episodes twice. Some of them 3 times. Because I really like the way those first 3 episodes came together. You know what I see here? I see some hard ass Marines. I don't understand what there is not to like about it, other than you want it to be exactly like you thought it was gonna be. Like the first, yeah. But once you get past the point of where you say, okay, they're gonna show Chief and they're humanizing Chief. Okay, whatever. You see, they kind of started trying to do that in the video game too.
Yeah.
Right. So hey, look, he doesn't need to be a robot. And again, it's not going to be much. It's not going to be that interesting if they do. But Fallout is great. But somebody, I have to put it up on Twitter again. But somebody said if you love Fallout, you'll love this, and it's also on Amazon. So I'm gonna give that show a shot. But I'll probably watch Fallout 1 through 6 again if I don't start playing the game first. Because I bought a few games on the sale, man. I just got to get around to at least playing them.
Well,
But
I own Fallout 3 and up, so I'm good.
You mean the games?
Yeah.
I own all of the games. But
I was introduced to Fallout on number 3.
I played and beat the first 2 back in the day on PC.
The Fallout 3 was the first one I ever played, and I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. Just like I didn't really care for Hammerfell, and but I love Elder Scrolls. It was 3 that made me like, wow, this is a great game when it comes to Elder Scrolls. And then Fallout wasn't always Obsidian or Bethesda either, so it was a totally different type of game.
Yeah.
But the Fallout show, I'm probably going to watch episodes 1 through 6 again. The game, I still get in and out of it because I didn't get any achievements for it back in the day. So now I'm getting them on Xbox. Like if you look at my profile, you'll see Fallout 4. But the problem with getting in and out of these games, you forget the buttons and you forget what you were doing.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why I haven't gotten back to Witcher on Xbox.
I have Fallout 4 like perfectly mapped on my Elite controller, so I would have to just kind of walk around a little bit to get used to what I was doing back then when I played Fallout 4.
You know what I'm doing this time? Fallout 4, I'm using all VATs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, man, I don't want to play this, man. I want an action RPG. So I didn't use the VATs. Now I'm using all VATs. You know what I'm talking about? The combat system where
I always use
it. Yeah. Instead of just using the FPS, you use the menu, right?
Yeah, I'm using all VATs.
I've always used the menu unless there's tons of people going around. Like I start just spray and pray.
No, I would just fight straight up now. Like I'm just gonna use VATs because I'm trying to get into that mode, man. I want to appreciate the classic RPG game style because I always said that those types of games were boring. I would prefer to play my games and let my games play for me.
Yeah.
And
man, just wander.
I still feel that way.
Just wander into the wasteland, put the music in the background playing, right, and just walk around. You'll eventually run into something that will attack you, whether they're overpowered or not. It's a fun game.
It's true. But that's a good.
It is. All right, man. Let's wrap it up.
I mean, you don't want a big empty game like Horizon. What they call it, Horizon Forbidden Entertainment. But all right, man. Yeah, go ahead, man. We're right at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, 2-hour mark. So.
Go ahead on, bro.
All right, guys. Poe, Punny, if you're still there, thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who came.
Shout out. And anybody who's watching this on the replay. Good night. We peace out.